HDT Stallion Series. Today we're going to be talking about Ready Cash. Anton, firstly, what sort of horse was Ready Cash? I mean, we see him as this great stallion, but did you ever actually see him in person, the horse himself?
Yeah, Paul, I was lucky enough to see him there race at Vincennes there one time. He was like a well-oiled machine. You know, he was a champion. You know, made 4.2 million euros, won 2 Prix d'Amérique, and yeah, he's truly one of the greatest horses in history.
What was his racing style like? What was he, a tough horse or a fast horse, or is he a bit of both?
He had everything, mate. You know, he was just one of them sort of basic freaks of nature, I guess. You know, he had speed, he was strong. You know, hence he won 2 Prix d'Amérique. It takes a great horse to win one, let alone 2. And yeah, he was very robotic in his action. You know, I know talking to a lot of people, they said his gait changed over the years from when he was a young horse at 2 through to his older years. He actually had 2 different gaits, a lot of people have said. So, but yeah, just a great racehorse. Huge engine, a little hot, little fiery, but yeah, just an amazing animal.
He went to the sire, you know, become a sire, and he's a champion sire, and we'll touch on a couple of his sons in a minute. But he and Cocktail Jet, they've always sort of been touted, you know, which one's better and all the rest. In your opinion, which one would you say would be the better horse?
Oh, I'd have to go with Ready Cash. You know, like Cocktail Jet was once in a generation sort of horse as a sire, for sure. But what Ready Cash has done in, you know, particularly the last sort of 10 years is, you know, it's unbelievable. His statistics are better than anything. His sons, his daughters, it doesn't matter what they are, you know, he's just been an amazing stallion.
Unfortunately, now ill-fated. He passed away just a few months ago. Outpouring, I saw, of grief, if you like, from the French. When you look at some of the videos and the social media, he was more than just a horse to a lot of the fans and a lot of the people there, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, you know, horses like him don't come along every day. You know, like I said, you get horses that are good racehorses and touted as great racehorses, but he was truly a special racehorse, you know, and even probably better stallion. You know, like I said, his sons have been amazing, and now are going on to be stallions themselves and top stallions at that. That's
one of the things, we've got the influence of those stallions, and you and I will talk about those in a minute, but pretty hard to get a go on in France, isn't it? I mean, it's a very, very competitive world there to just even get a go as a stallion.
Oh, it's the numbers are insane. You know, I think there's about 1,500 stallions stand there and about 15,000 broodmares. You know, so to be in the top, you know, 10, even the top 100 is a good effort, really. You know, so he's been number 1 for basically the last 10 years. That horse, you know, he's every single year he's been number 1 there, and yeah, now his daughters are breeding on to be great broodmares, and his sons are breeding on to be great stallions. So yeah, to be number 1 in France, it's a very, very hard thing to do, you know, for any horse, and for one to dominate like that for you know a 10-year period is amazing.
You've been there, you've seen it. Is it the toughest breeding area in the world, would you say? You know, to be coming out on top there, is you're on top of the pack pretty much everywhere?
Yeah, 100%. Like the fact that the stud book's closed makes it very difficult. You know, basically you have to be born and bred in France and buy a French stallion out of a French mare. Sorry, and so it limits your options. And yeah, so to be top there it's a tough thing to do, you know, and yeah, once again it's amazing that he could do it for like 10 years.
Haras to Trotteurs, you guys have embraced Ready Cash and his sons. You've got a great lineup of them. Is it hard to pick one of the better ones? I mean, you know, when you look at their records, these horses, they're just super imposing. Like,
yeah, obviously they're all top horses, you know, and as we've talked on before, Paul, you know, we won't sort of put these horses on our roster unless we confidently can say that we'll breed mares to them ourselves, you know. So, you know, we get offered a lot of horses every year as stallions, but, you know, we've tried to sort of go with the theory that, you know, if we won't breed to them ourselves, then they shouldn't be on the roster. And, you know, the sons that we have, yeah, they're great horses, you know, horses like Bird Parker and Brilliantissime and FaceTime Bourbon. You know, he looks to be the heir apparent at the moment. Yeah, he's all the rage there now. You know, he for the first time in probably 10 years or more, he actually outsold Ready Cash this past yearling sales of the last couple of days in Deville. You know, I know Philip Allaire, the trainer owner of Ready Cash, bought a FaceTime Bourbon filly for something like €280,000. So it just goes to show you the quality of that horse that, you know, Philip Allaire's going out to buy FaceTime Bourbons is amazing. But yeah, he looks to be the heir apparent right now. He's doing a fantastic job, and he's also got one of the better 2-year-olds in North America, FaceTime Bourbon, a horse called Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Who, you know, he won a elimination of William Wellwood there 2 weeks ago. Looks to be a really good colt for Tony Alagna. And yeah, and then, you know, obviously we've got horses that we've raced here, like Always Ready. He was a good little racehorse. You know, he was 2-year-old of the year. He won the Vic Bred at 2 and won the Tatlow, and then he come back at 4 after sustaining an injury in the Breeders' Crown final. He come back at 4 and then was 4-year-old of the year and won another Vic Bred. So, you know, he's another horse that, yeah, like I said, we wouldn't have him on the roster if we wouldn't breed to him.
He's chilled. We'll go. I'll just very quickly through the frozen ones. We've got Bold Eagle, FaceTime Bourbon, Bird Parker, Brilliantissimi, Readily Expressed, Iridan, Back of the Neck, and then Always Ready. And the opportunity for Australians to get a chilled stallion stand in his first full season. He did stood last year, but trying to continue racing commitments. But this will be his first full season. You must be excited about that. Yeah. And the couple of foals that we have by him are crackers. You know, we've got a colt there, or I'm not sure if it's a colt or a filly, sorry, out of Heavenly Sister, who is a beautiful horse. You know, it's a beautiful foal. Let's say he's a very precocious horse, early horse. You know, well, no gear, no check, easy horse, good gaited, a lot of speed. You know, could leave the gate like a pacer. You know, he's a horse that, for all reasons, he should make a good stallion. That horse, he's got a great pedigree. Yeah, he's out of a sister to Let Me Through, and from the family of Sundon's Gift and them. So, you know, he's got every reason to be a good stallion. Yeah, no, absolutely. Anton, thank you. Haras to Trotteurs, the full roster is on the screen there, but if you've got any queries at all, get in touch with the guys at haras@trotteurs.com.au. Anton, thank you. This is the HDT Stallion Series. We're going to be rolling out a few of these going forward, and we're trying to, I suppose, explain to people. I was going to say break down the barriers, but we're not. We're just explain to people, you know, how good these horses are from France racing, which is getting closer. We're getting to be able to see more and more of it. But I really appreciate the time, and I suppose raising the awareness and getting people to understand what they're actually got the opportunity to breed to here at Haras to Trotteurs. Yeah, no, it's you know, we're not trying to recreate the wheel, Paul. Like it's something that's been happening for a long time. You know, through the likes of Mr. Dubois and breeders like that. You know, and you see now in North America, they've embraced it, you know. I think last year the best 2-year-old in North America, or the year before, sorry, Venerate, he was by Love You out of a Muscle Hill mare. And then, like I said, this year there's a good horse there called Winter Soldier by FaceTime Bourbon. And then you had Back of the Neck, who was a Ready Cash horse the year before that. So, you know, it just works, Paul. You know, it's not, like I said, it's not rocket science. We're not the first to do it, but you know, we've embraced it, and you know, it's worked for us okay so far. You know, horses like Cravache Dior and Unbella Lure and many others there that were, you know, bred on that cross. So no, it's good. Thank you very much, mate.